places to go to. Only, there was seldom a place to which one would like to return.
Please, Bob, try to feed me a little more. Let me grow big with you, and I will build you a house.
Listen to me, Jafar. Stop crying. You see, we cannot go on like this. My mat weaving cannot support both of us. Son, it's really hard. But you have to go.
I will repay you someday.
Son, please go. It's really hard, I know.
I tried to look at Babo through my tears, but soon, the thought of having everything I wanted took hold of my child mind. I was only then 13 years old and easily managed. Jafar, you must kiss the Datu's feet and withdraw when and as ordered without turning your back. You must not look at the Datu full in the eyes. You must not talk too much. You must always talk in the third person. You must not... Babo, those were too many to remember. I was very anxious and sad before leaving for your father's big house. She tested me over and over again on those royal, traditional ways.
And remember, take for yes or take for what or answering a call. And the people in the big house, they have blue blood.
Not red as ours, Babu.
No, son, not red like ours.
And the Datu has a daughter of my age, Babu.
Yes, and her name is Dayang. But you are a Ramadan older. She may be allowed to play with you if you only work hard and behave well.
I asked Babo if I could prick your skin to see if you really had blue blood, but she didn't answer. She just kept quiet. Your house is really big. Your Astana, that's what Babo had told me.
Welcome, orphan. Welcome. Sit down.
Is it for me? Of course, it was for me. You were laughing, young, pretty blue blood. Happy perhaps that I was, or was it the amusement brought about by my poor self that had made you laugh? I dared not ask you, of course. Must not talk too much. I feared that you should dislike me and you would subject me to an unpleasant treatment. Thanks to your Ambob's kindness, and thanks to you, Dayang, laughing at me, we were generously bidden in. wanted to ask Babu and why not your feet, but I realized that you were still a child. I could wait until you had grown up. But you withdrew your hand, dang damn. I wondered. However, I was so intoxicated by the monetary sweetness the action brought me that I decided to inwardly kiss your hand every day. No, it was not love. It was only a playful sort of liking. Imagine the pride that I had of being in close heady contact with one of the blue blood.
Please take care of my nephew. I couldn't take care of him anymore. We have no food to eat already.
Poor Jafar.
Baba went before the interview was through. She had to cover 5 miles before evening came. Still, I did not cry. I was so ashamed to weep in your presence. That was how I came to stay with you. Remember? Baba came to see me every week as she had promised.
Oh, hi! How was Jafar so far? I miss him.
You know, Jafar is such a good worker. He picks up the instruction easily and can finish his work on time. But he still urinates in his mat when asleep.
After I heard that, I felt embarrassed and promising myself not to wet my mat again. Baba came to see me, to advise me every week for 2 consecutive years, that is, until death took her away. Remember? I was your favorite and you wanted to play with me. Always. I was apparently so willing to do anything for you. We would go near the big lake and chase you for the whole day. Then we would play hide and seek where I was always the it, or run along the long stretch of sand behind you, admiring your soft, nimble feet and your flying hair. Then we would stop, panting, laughing. Your hair flowed down smoothly, gleaming in the afternoon sun. Oh, it was beautiful. Then I would trim your fingernails carefully. So your parents sent you to a Mohammedan school when you were 7. I was not sent to study with you, but it made no difference to me. For after all, my work was to carry your books 4 times a day, and you were happy, because I could entertain you. That was how I played the part of an epang-epang, of a servant escort to you. I was like a faithful, loving dog following its mistress with light steps and a singing heart. Because of you, ahead of me, you were something of an inspiration I could trail indefatigably, even to the ends of the world. Your Goro wanted to whip you. After all, for 3 years already you still had a dreary monotone, but instead, I took her whippings. How I groaned with pain under her lashings, but how your Goro laughed and you, leading the whole class to roar with laughter. Those were the ways, my only little ways to show how grateful I was for the things I had not tasted before. Your companionship, shelter, and food in your big Astana. There I was at my bed at night, alone, intoxicated with passion and emotions closely resembling those of a full-grown man's. I thought of you secretly, unashamedly, lustfully. No, I cannot say. You're of such contrasting patterns. Even the lovely way you look, the big Astana you lived in, The blood you had, I had to content myself with the privilege of gazing frequently at your peerless loveliness. An ugly servant must not go beyond his little border, but things did not remain as they were. Then one day, I learned that a rich young dato, Muramuraan, asked for your hands. Your whole family was very supportive of him, of course. But I felt differently. I wanted to... No, I could not have your hand in your marital agreements. What was I after all? Just a poor orphan servant. But I escaped from the big Astana, the night of your wedding. Pretty blue blood. Where to? Anywhere. That was exactly 7 years ago, and those years did wonderful things for me. I am no longer a servant, although my looks remain as it has always been. But Allah's wheel of time kept turning. Your husband was transported to Zamboanga for he had raised his hand against the Christian government. He wanted to show his petty power by refusing to pay land taxes. I got to see your face again. However, now filled with sorrows. As time has passed, I did not realize that I am now a landowner too. How did we come to this? After all this time, I still love you. But in all those times I was away, have you ever once missed me? I yearn to tell you that the properties I own was yours. And above all, I burn to whirl back to you and beg you and your children to come home with me. Although the simple house I lived in is not as big as your Astana at Patico, you will at least be happy. A temporary haven while you waited for your husband's release.